Just for context, my MZ TS125 is currently working perfectly. Starts great. Here it is after a winter stored in the garage. Second kick. And charges the battery. But I was interested in the Vape R81 voltage regulators, as I have heard that the mechanical regulators can fail, but that the Vape one's very reliable. I don't know this is true or false, but I thought I'd investigate it, just see how it fits, see how it works. I'll probably put the mechanical one back in for now, but here's how it went. Again, this is not a how-to, this is me experimenting. Do your own research, please. Okay, well, here is the ancient electromechanical system is used on these bikes. I've got 4 wires, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know that I've got to join 2 of those for the new one, but that's the system that's been on there for 40 years. Look at the fuses, they're actually all covered in grease, so they're dirty, but they're not bad. And there's the Gammatronics electronic ignition. Still uses the points, but it's supposed to be more reliable. Does start very well. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, this is not broken, not yet. They are known to fail, so I'm going to try and figure out what to do with the wires. Why would you have more than one ground? So I'm connected to a positive. I'm going to use that as a ground and then just monitor what happens when the bike starts. Now the bike starts very easily with this electronic ignition and the Mikuni carburetor. So as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it isn't broke, it works perfectly. It's an electromechanical device and they are known to fail eventually. This is 40 years old, still working, but it's got to be said, the East Germans knew a thing or two about designing a simple but efficient motorcycle. Once you remove this, I don't know if I'll get the charge light working properly or not. Yet to be seen. I think it will, as long as it's not an LED one. Purposely haven't put LEDs in the charge light. It's just an incandescent bulb. I've got some spares in case it blows, which is possible. So the way it works is when you turn the bike on, the charge light comes on. Once you start the bike, if there's enough voltage, the charge light goes out, which lets you know that the battery's charging. Brilliant. Alright, there's no digital readout, doesn't give you the voltage, but you know it's charging because the bulb's gone out. But the bulb doubles up as an indicator bulb also. So when you put the indicators on, it flashes. One bulb, 2 jobs. Very efficient. Now I'm intending to replace the mechanical voltage regulator with a Vape one. If I can get it to fit in there. We only use 3 terminals, whereas 4 are used on that, but we double up D plus and 61 on there, so I have to figure out which lead is which. That'll be a bit of a pain, as this is solid state, so it will fit in there, bolt in and perform the same function. Apparently they're very, very, very reliable, so I'm assured. It's made by Vape. But the other thing I need to do is to remove the wire wound resistor, which is part of the regulation on this, or this won't work properly. It's not a big job. I think you can just pull a wire off it disconnects it, but yeah, we're a long way away from that. I've got to get this in there secure, and this needs to be bolted in solidly. Okay, let's have a look at the cover. Held on with a spring clip. Whoa, look at that. So there you go, looks like new in there. It's got a cork gasket, and these are the relays here, I'm guessing. And some sort of coil in the middle. 2, 3. Fossil is working. There is an earth connection on the back of there, but it was never used. Right, let's see what we've got. Number 1, red and green. Number 2, pure green. Number 3, pink and green. 1, 2, 3. Number 4, green again. 2, 3, 4. Off with number 4. Right, there is some writing on there, but I can't see what's what. One says 19. Hopefully that's rusty as well. So here are the instructions that come with the vape unit. As you can see, MZ wiring at the top. You can ignore that, somebody's crossed it out. So D plus and the 61 joined together on the D plus 61 pole. Putting it that way around, or putting it as it is there. DF plus isn't used. 2 wires go to that one, 1 wire goes to that one, and 1 wire goes to that one. Translating that over to a trusty, well, look at that, that's what it looked like when it was new. You've got 5-1 goes to the battery. You can see DF, I don't know if you can see that, but DF and 61 are internally joined, so that's just the same. We have got DF plus, which is not used, so we've got DF minus, which we do use, 51, which we do use, and DF plus and 61, which we do use. Okay, and you can see that there's the mechanical version, the original, which had 1, 2, 3, 4 pins, which I've labelled 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 being the positive end that went to the short to the fuse. I couldn't read the readings on that because they'd rusted away. So number one went to 2, so that 1 goes to 51. So number 1 goes to 51. 3 and 2 go to 3, so 3 and 2, so there's 3. 3 and 2 go to 3, and number 4 goes to 1, DF minus. I hope that's clear enough. As I say, don't copy me, check it out yourself, but that's worked. So here's our wire wound resistor, held in by 2 screws, easily removed. So I'll take that out just for experimental purposes. I'm probably going to put this back to original for now, and then maybe change it later on. I just want to test it. It's more of an experiment than a final version. So I'll remove that, just checking how it goes. I think that's quite delicate, that. So anyway, careful now. It's not overly tight. Little screw with a little washer on it. Gently, gently does it. Oh. Okay. Ooh. I didn't realise there's another connection there. That's not where they need to be. As a rookie, not an easy thing to do coming into this class. There you go. So that resistor takes that connection to ground as part of the regulator, so that's not going anywhere now, so I'm just going to leave that connected to there. Okay, just for now I've made up some temporary, I wouldn't use these in real life, I've soldered them. I'm going to extend my number 4, sorry, get it right, number 4, which is my blue and green, onto the DF minus. I've got to make sure nothing shorts. I've disconnected the battery for now. This one comes directly from the battery without a fuse or anything, it's quite thick, and I'm guessing that's because that's the output from the charging circuit to the battery direct. And I'm guessing the mechanical system that there's a relay or something that disconnects that from the bike until the ignition's turned on, but there's a coil to energize it. Whereas this is solid state, I don't know what that does. So anyway, all I'm saying is I've got to be careful. That's in. That goes onto the 5.1. Fourth one that was over at the left goes onto DF minus. We do not use DF plus at all. Then I've got to get the 2 red and green, which is what in my schematic was the 2nd and the 3rd. I've made up a link for those. So there's my 2nd, there's my 3rd, and that's going to the DF and the 61. Battery's disconnected at the moment. I'm going to put some tape around that. If I was doing that permanently, I would heat shrink that or actually make up a completely new lead from there to there. This is just an extension because I'm most likely going to put it back to the mechanical one for now. There's my earths all bodged onto one. There's my adapters. Might put some tape over these as well actually before I reconnect the battery. In fact I will, just to be on the side. It's only protective tape. So I've got 2 onto the D plus 61, got the positive onto the 51, and DF minus has got the other wire on it, which was the blue and green one. Okay, so if I was doing that permanently I'd rewire all of that, do it properly, but for test purposes 6.34 volts at rest. Turn on the ignition. As with the mechanical, it's gone down a little bit because of the indicator unit. Don't worry about that, that's all normal. Right, let's see if it will start. Off, charge light on, yeah. Also indicator. Slightly complicated on this because of the LEDs that I've got in it, but just imagine that's on all the time. Does go out. I can just see it dimly glowing as the revs fall. Just seems to be a bit more efficient than a mechanical system. Drop the revs right down. Can you see that? Just flickering there. Okay. Charge light's working. That's because it's not an LED bulb. It does actually say in the instructions. Resistor coil on the stator must be removed. We've done that. LED charge indicators will not work in every case with this regulator. That's why I didn't change the charge bulb. It's an old-fashioned Lucas bulb. I've got 10 spares, so I think that's part of the charging system, so I've left that stock. In fact, it's the original bulb. Okay, well, don't know if that was any use to anybody, but that's how it would assume these vape regulators work. Don't take this as instructions, this is just an experiment. It certainly seems to work. I'll make a little circuit diagram, well, not a circuit diagram, I'll do a little picture of how the wiring changed so that I can remember exactly. In fact, I'm going to do that now. These two to there, never use DF plus. Don't take my word for it, check your own manuals, check your own circuits, but that seems to work. As I say, I'm probably going to put the mechanical one back on for now and then maybe fit that at a later date or wait for the mechanical one to fail.